I unexpectedly discovered my husband was cheating. He even booked a room at a hotel. Just as I was about to live stream the infidelity bust, I realized my husband's mistress was none other than Barbara. Chloe, did you say Daniel cheated? How is that possible? Are you sure you didn't see it wrong? I was shocked by the call from my best friend Chloe. I just couldn't associate my husband, Daniel, with the word cheating. It's true, Ava. I just saw it with my own eyes. He's at the Grand, shopping with his mistress. Immediately, my friend Chloe sent me a photo. I opened it and saw the man in the picture indeed resembled my husband, Daniel. He was even wearing the khaki trench coat I had put on him this morning. The woman beside him felt strangely familiar, but no matter how much I thought about it, I couldn't recall anyone like her in my social circle. Chloe, follow them quickly. Send me your location, and I'll be right there. Be careful not to let them spot you. I changed clothes, rushed downstairs, hailed a taxi, and headed straight for the Grand. What's going on? Are you almost here? I just saw your husband kiss his mistress. Almost there. Almost there. I'm arriving. I got out of the taxi and dashed into the mall. Only after spotting my friend Chloe did I allow myself to catch my breath. Look, they're right there. We sat in a coffee shop, and my friend pointed towards the bakery across the way. Even through 2 layers of glass, I immediately recognized the man. It was indeed my husband, Daniel. The woman beside him had long false eyelashes, heavy makeup, bright red lipstick, and was wearing a pair of shocking pink stiletto heels. Seriously? Not only is he cheating, but he found this kind of person? How could his taste drop so drastically? Ava, this woman looks so old. What kind of taste does that jerk have? I can see the wrinkles on her face clearly from all the way over here. She's probably old enough to be your mother. My friend took a sip of coffee and continued to complain. Do you think he's trying to provoke you on purpose? That's why he found such an older mistress? I don't think so. They seem deeply in love, even sweeter than when I was dating him. Watching their affectionate display, I felt a furious rage burning inside me. I wanted nothing more than to march over and tear into that mistress. But I knew I couldn't let them off that easily. Chloe, what can we do to completely ruin their reputation? How about you try posting this online? Hearing my friend's suggestion, I took out my phone, snapped a bunch of photos, wrote a short text, and posted it on a social media platform. Before long, the post garnered many views. Many fellow women sympathized with my situation and shared their own past experiences and methods of revenge in the comments section. Many also comforted me, telling me not to be sad and not to hurt myself over someone not worth it. However, there were also quite a few who accused me of seeking attention. Of course, what's a man worth? No matter how much I loved him before, from this moment on, he would have no further ties to me. I found them. Your husband booked room 823 at the hotel for tonight. You should get ready. I just pretended to be his partner, saying I wanted to decorate the room in advance to surprise him, and got a room key from the receptionist. Thank you, Chloe. After this, I'm going to make that jerk leave empty-handed in the divorce. We 50 from his assets. My friend and I staked out near the hotel early. As night fell, we saw them walk upstairs, arm in arm. I was about to quietly follow them, but my friend pulled me back. Wait, it's not time yet. It'll be much more exciting if we go in when they're really getting intimate. Then, she started a live stream, titled Stunning Live Infidelity of Older. Before long, many users were drawn in by the title, and a huge crowd poured into the live stream. What are you doing? Go bust them already. We're anxious to see. I bet they're just staging this to trick us into sending gifts. I've seen too many scammers like this. This woman is quite pretty. How could her husband still cheat on her? The user above probably didn't see the photo of the older mistress that the streamer posted yesterday. TSK TSK TSK. It's truly hard to describe. The live chat comments were scrolling wildly, and users were getting anxious. We stood downstairs, watching the mood lighting in the room above constantly change. My friend patted my shoulder and told me the time was right, pretending to be ordinary guests who had already booked a room. We walked into the hotel and approached Daniel and his mistress's door. My friend excitedly told the live stream audience, "Folks, this is it. Are you ready to witness this moment with us? Let's count down. 3, 2, 1, time to reveal." No. Wait. Open the door. Beep. With a click, the room door opened. 2 naked bodies were entangled on the bed in an awkward position. The 4 of us stared at each other. They quickly scrambled to put on their clothes, desperate to avoid further embarrassment. The moment I saw Daniel, I wasn't surprised. But when I clearly saw the woman next to him, I was shocked. Barbara, I cried out in despair. That might be the last time I ever called her that. The live stream instantly exploded with activity, users' minds racing, and the live chat comments were buzzing with heated discussions. What? Is that what I think it is? This older mistress is the streamer's mom? The husband is cheating with his mother-in-law? This scandal is absolutely mind-blowing. This clearly looks staged. How could something like this happen in real life? They're just attention-seeking scammers. Don't believe them. But soon after, the live stream was shut down due to inappropriate content. At the same time, the topic "husband's affair is mom" trended at the top of the search charts. What's going on, Ava? What did you call her? Mom? Is she your biological mother? I said nothing, silently nodding my head. Wait, did Barbara steal your husband? Or did your husband sleep with Barbara? No matter who made the first move, once this was dealt with, I would cut all ties. My heart was like stone. Ava, listen to me. It's not what you think. Daniel was the first to speak. Explain what? There's nothing to explain. We're together. So what? Barbara retorted defiantly. My friend, standing beside me, looked utterly incredulous, her surprised gaze sweeping over the three of us. You, are you Ava's biological mother? How can a mother act like this? Stealing her own daughter's man? Aren't you absolutely disgusting? She pointed an accusing finger at Barbara, then turned to Daniel. And you? It's disgraceful. How dare you sleep with your own mother-in-law? Have you no shame? My friend continued to vent her fury. Finally, I, who had been silent for so long, spoke up. She's not my biological mother, and she doesn't deserve to be my mother at all. 12 years ago, my father died trying to save her. She went to the river to catch fish because she thought the fish at the local market were too expensive, trying to save a few bucks, and ended up falling into the deep end. In that critical moment, my father jumped in to save her, but he didn't have time to warm up, got a cramp in his leg, and lost his life in the river forever. My biological mother died during childbirth, and my father remarried. I always treated Barbara as my own biological mother. I called her mom for 25 years. Yet, in the end, she caused my father's death and stole my man. Why don't you go find your biological mother? If you're so brave, you ungrateful brat. Your biological mother wasn't any good either. She looked at me with an expression of utter contempt. Don't you dare talk about my mother. The moment I heard her badmouthing my mother, I finally lost control of my emotions. I lunged forward, grabbing her by the collar. Try saying one more word about my mother. I dare you, you little brat. Let go of me. You're the reason I lost my father. What do you mean I caused his death? He drowned himself. What does that have to do with me? Your father's drowning was an accident. Would he have died if he wasn't trying to save you? Then call the police. Let them arrest me. Go on. She thrust her intertwined hands out in front of me. I slapped her across the face. How dare you? It wasn't enough that my father fell for you. Now my man has too. What kind of bewitching charm did you put on them? After being slapped, a red handprint instantly appeared on her face. She clutched her cheek, indignant. If you can't control your man, that's your own fault. If your mother couldn't control hers, that was her own fault too. You too, mother and daughter. Before she could finish, I slapped her again. Ava, she's still your stepmother. After all, do you have no respect for your elders? Daniel said, coming to his mother-in-law's, no, his wife's, defense. Stepmother? Does she even deserve that title? Do you know why my father never had children with you all these years? Because he thought you weren't worthy of having his children. That's nonsense. Your father loved me so much. How could he not want to have children with me? Oh, so if he were still alive, would you be willing to have children with him? Of course, I would. I stayed silent, just smiling as I watched them both. My friend, who was enjoying the drama unfold, couldn't stop smiling either. Daniel, I didn't mean that. Listen to me, Daniel, but completely ignored her pleas and walked straight out the door. Barbara glared at me fiercely, then rushed after her mistress. My friend and I exchanged a knowing smile. Just wait and see. The real show is yet to come. I had audio recordings of the entire argument at the hotel, which I then uploaded online. It instantly caused a huge uproar. This is absolutely shameless. She caused someone's father's death and then stole her husband. The streamer's father shouldn't have saved her back then. He should have just let her drown. Exactly. A woman like that deserves to drown. Sleeping around everywhere. Who knows how many men she's been with. Someone like that doesn't deserve to be a mother at all. She should just die. Am I the only one who thinks the streamer is being incredibly rude? To the user above. If your partner was stolen, would you be polite to the mistress? I scrolled through the online comments, preparing to execute my next plan. I was determined to completely ruin both of their reputations. During this time, Daniel and Barbara didn't dare come home. Who knows where they were messing around? Their absence was actually a good thing. It's been much quieter for me. This house was my biological mother's premarital property. After her death, it was passed on to me. My father, Barbara, and even Daniel have been living here all these years, and I truly felt it brought bad vibes. Barbara constantly tried to claim this house for herself. I would take back everything that belonged to me. I opened the safe. Inside were some assets my biological mother had left me. She had prepared for this long ago. Always frail, she knew she wouldn't survive childbirth and had written a will and testament before I was born. If the child was born successfully, all assets would be transferred to the child. If the child died young, the assets were to be placed in the child's coffin, to bless them with a better rebirth in the next life. Then she instructed my father to remarry. She gave her will and testament to her best friend, ensuring my father wouldn't have a chance to secretly interfere. Later, my father did remarry. I packed up their belongings. After living in my house for so many years, it was time for them to get out. I called Daniel. When he answered, I could even hear moaning in the background. You have 10 minutes to get over here, or I'm throwing all your stuff in the trash. Crazy woman. Ignoring his curses, I hung up and started the timer on my phone. 10 minutes passed, but they were nowhere in sight. I took their things, intending to throw them downstairs, and at the stairwell, I happened to encounter the two, panting. You crazy woman, what are you doing? What am I doing? Obviously, cleaning out some unwanted trash. Give me back my stuff. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have any of your stuff here. These are all garbage, and garbage belongs in the trash. Wouldn't you agree? I smirked, looking at them disdainfully. I let Daniel snatch the 2 bags of clothes from my hands. I walked straight back inside, opened all the remaining bags, and dumped them from upstairs. My house was on the 2nd floor, and there were no pedestrians passing below, so I didn't worry about throwing objects from a height. The ground below was scattered with clothing, including their underwear and some adult novelty items. Are you crazy? What are you doing? Daniel and Barbara, who had caught up, looked at me in disbelief. If I'm crazy, it's because you drove me to it. Seeing the commotion, many neighbors peeked out to watch the commotion. Oh, what's going on here? Haven't you heard? That girl's mother stole her man. What? Really? How could such a thing happen? Barbara is absolutely shameless. No kidding. I saw the live stream myself. The son-in-law and the mother-in-law were rolling around together. Tisk tsk. That girl is so pathetic with a mother and husband like that. The neighbors chattered, occasionally pointing fingers at the two of them, their faces full of scorn. If your father hadn't died so early, leaving me without a single child, would I be like this? Barbara roared, her voice startling the onlookers. All these years, your useless womb hasn't produced a single child. Following you, my family is probably going to die out without heirs. Daniel refused to back down, unleashing his own verbal assault. Do both of your families have a throne to inherit? If so, then you truly are a perfect match. Want children? Maybe consider if you even deserve them first? You two are truly shameless together. I wholeheartedly respect your union. Bless you both, and hope you're locked together forever. It's better that trash like you stays off the market and doesn't harm anyone else. I launched a barrage of insults at them, feeling completely satisfied when I was done. They opened their mouths to speak, but I had shut them down so effectively that they couldn't utter a single word. It was, in a word, exhilarating. This is my home. You two have lived here for so many years. I've been nice enough not to charge you rent. Now, aren't you going to get out? How dare you speak like that? You little brat? When did this become your home? I've lived here for so many years. This house should belong to me. She still thought this was my father's property. When my father passed away, a portion of his assets should have been mine, but Barbara took it all. Then take a close look at whose name is on the house deed. So what if it's yours? I've lived here for so many years. You won't get me to move out. For all these years she wasn't living here. She was just eyeing my house. Well, if that's the case, then I'll just sue you for illegal occupation of someone else's property. Do you want to move out peacefully? Or would you prefer to face a lawsuit first? You're so heartless. I raised you for so many years. You ungrateful wretch. You raised me? You raised me by making me wash your clothes and cook for you every day? That's quite a boast. At that moment, Daniel, who had been silent for a long time, spoke up. You've called her mom for over 20 years, and now she's pregnant, and you want to throw her onto the streets? How did I never realize what a cruel woman you are? I was still a bit shocked to hear that Barbara was pregnant. It's not my child she's carrying. So what does it have to do with me? What? Can't you give her a home? Or is she pregnant, and you don't want to take responsibility? I didn't mean that. She's carrying my child. Of course I'll take responsibility for her. Oh, well, if that's the case, then get out of here right now. I'm doing you both a favor. Hearing that I was about to kick her out, Barbara became even more furious and started calling out to the surrounding neighbors. Everyone, come look! I'm an old woman. I raised this daughter for over 20 years, and now she's kicking me out. I'm even pregnant. How am I supposed to live? The neighbors cast scornful glances. That woman really has the nerve. She stole her daughter's man, got pregnant, and still has the audacity to cling to someone else's house. If it were me, I'd just bash my head in and die. I couldn't face the shame. Exactly. With her stingy demeanor. I always knew she wasn't a good person, and it turns out I was right. Her husband died because of her back then, and now she's trying to harm her daughter again. What a villain! Barbara, listening to their insults, finally couldn't hold back. How dare you criticize me? I was with that old man for so many years and never got pregnant because he was infertile. And now you blame me? I don't think any of you are good people either. Besides, Daniel and I are truly in love. I think the one who isn't loved is the real mistress. Wouldn't you say? The old man from the building across the street instantly flew into a rage. You shameless mistress. Blaming the victim. Anyway, we're all on Ava's side. If you're so brave, go call the police. Let them sort this out. You're the mistress. We are clearly loving and perfectly compatible. That young man and Ava got married. What do you have? And you're carrying an illegitimate child. Say that again? Believe me, I'll tear your mouth off. I almost forgot. I still needed to finalize the divorce. Get the papers ready. We'll go process the divorce papers tomorrow. I snapped at Daniel. Ava, can we not get a divorce? Not get a divorce? Didn't you complain I couldn't have children for you? Now someone is having a child for you. So why don't you hurry up and give her a good life? But Barbara and I don't have a house. If you kick us out like this, and she's pregnant, where is she supposed to go? Oh, really? And how exactly is that my concern? Ava, you can't be so heartless. Who's heartless here? Me? You cheat on me behind my back and then call me heartless? I've said my piece. Both of you, get out of here right now. Once the divorce is finalized, we'll have no further ties. I pushed them both out the door, then slammed it shut. I completely ignored their continuous knocking and shouting from outside. Daniel adamantly refused to divorce me, clinging to me, with no other option. I had to take him to the courthouse. The courthouse not only granted the divorce but also ordered compensation from the at-fault party to the innocent party. When I posted this news online, users praised it as incredibly satisfying. Ava, you're still not ruthless enough. A man like that should be forced to leave empty-handed in the divorce. Ava, you're amazing. My husband also has a mistress, and I'm ready to divorce him too. I can't take it anymore. Those two will get their comeuppance sooner or later. I thought the matter would end there, but I didn't expect those two shameless people to come and cause a scene downstairs at my house every day. Barbara even claimed I was her daughter, who had kicked her pregnant mother out of the house, and her son-in-law, who tried to speak up for her, was also thrown out. Uninformed people criticized me for being unfilial and praised Daniel for being such an upstanding man, pitying him for marrying a wife like me. Within a few days, they gathered a group of righteous citizens to denounce me downstairs at my house. You heartless ingrate. Get out here. Exactly. Kicking your pregnant elderly mother out? What kind of behavior is that? I stood on the windowsill, watching them brandishing their sticks and shovels, acting threateningly, and found it quite amusing. My father died over a decade ago. How do you think she got pregnant? Everyone was stunned by my question, quickly turning their heads to look at Barbara. Barbara, what's going on here? Oh, Don't listen to this little girl talking nonsense. There's no such thing. While everyone was still confused, I spoke up again. When this child is born, should I call him my brother or sister? Or my son or daughter? After all, it's my husband's and Barbara's offspring. Everyone suddenly understood, as if they had heard something unbelievable, their eyes wide as they stared at Barbara. You, Barbara, so you were the one who seduced your daughter's man, and here you are, hypocritically accusing others, making us almost slander that girl's good name. I'm going to kill you today. Barbara, frightened, grabbed Daniel and bolted and ran. Everyone was enraged, grabbing whatever they could and chasing after them. Suddenly, the two stopped running and stood still. I heard Barbara say, "If we're talking about who was here first, she was the one who stole my man. She's the mistress." The crowd, stunned, turned their gazes to me. "What do you mean, Barbara? Daniel and I got married. We're legally wed. So what if you had a marriage certificate? You're divorced now anyway. Daniel and I will just go get one. Daniel and I have been together for a long time. Much longer than you've known him. Explain yourself. What's going on?" "What? Surprised, aren't you? Daniel and I were already a couple. You were the mistress." "Oh, and an unloved one at that." Under the astonished gazes of the crowd, Barbara spilled the beans completely. "Did you really think you could marry such a good man like Daniel all on your own? It was I who secretly arranged for you two to meet. All those serendipitous encounters you thought you had? I planned them long ago. It was all to get you to marry Daniel, for him to move into your house, so I could see Daniel every day. Then we'd be a family." "Ha ha ha. Then why didn't you marry him yourself? Do you think I'm stupid? Neither of us had a house. So where would I live if I married him? Besides, I originally wanted you and Daniel to have a son for me to raise. But who knew your womb wouldn't produce a thing? I had to do it myself." Hearing this, everyone was furious, grabbing sticks and clubs, ready to smash them. Barbara and Daniel, scared, bolted and ran. A month later, Barbara and Daniel not only got married but also started a live stream. I stumbled upon their live stream channel by chance. Some unsuspecting users were misled by them. "Folks, you absolutely have to help me. My husband and I love each other dearly, but my deceased ex-husband's daughter became infatuated with my husband and ruthlessly tried to steal him. When he refused, she kicked both of us out of the house. Oh, heavens. What sin have I committed?" As she spoke, she didn't forget to show off her marriage certificate and the dilapidated shack they rented for a few $100s to make her story more convincing. Users were indignant, flooding the live chat comments. How could anyone raise such an ungrateful wretch? Pfft, absolutely shameless. Exactly. Stealing her own stepfather. I've never seen such a shameless woman. Yeah, in ancient times, she would have faced public humiliation. A woman like that deserves to die. Saves her from harming other men. I read their comments without anger, only amusement. The truth and falsehoods behind the online world were always so hard to discern. A huge number of people also started attacking me on my account. Even users who previously believed and supported me were now clamoring for my downfall. Some people are just fickle people, changing direction with every gust of wind. I silently picked up my phone and edited the events between us, in chronological order, with text and images. My biological mother passed away when I was born, leaving me a house and some assets. My father remarried. When I was 10, my father drowned while saving Barbara. Barbara took advantage of my youth and inexperience to secretly appropriate all of my father's inheritance. She didn't remarry only because she wanted my house. She lived in my house, always claiming the role of an elder. To outsiders, she claimed to be my biological mother. Later, she and Daniel became a couple. The two of them conspired to trick me out of my house, so they hatched this plan. However, I knew nothing of it. Daniel and I fell in love and got married, and eventually, he successfully moved into my home. I thought I had found true love, but I never imagined that they were getting intimate, night after night, while living under the same roof as me. It was laughable. I became the mistress interfering in someone else's marriage and was condemned by everyone. As soon as my post went live, it caused a huge uproar online. I opened Barbara and Daniel's live stream channel again, and Barbara was on screen, playing the victim and feigning pity. Seeing hundreds of thousands of people flooding into the live stream, she was incredibly excited. Folks, I called my daughter today, and she called me an old witch. Tell me, why am I, an old woman, so miserable? She had expected the live chat comments to be full of people denouncing me on her behalf. She never imagined that the tide had completely turned. Users who had once been deceived and kept in the dark were now awake, and not one of them was letting her off the hook. Oh, how truly pathetic. If I had a daughter like that, I'd just bash my head in and die. Save me the trouble of coveting my daughter's house. Oh, how did you know my daughter bought me a $20,000 gold bracelet today? Oh, it's because I didn't steal her man. Is that it? Oh, I gave my daughter $100,000 a few days ago for a trip, and now she's bought me a beachfront property. Oh, but I wouldn't insist on staying in someone else's house and claim a child with no blood relation as my own biological daughter. Barbara's face turned green with rage as she read those comments. She quickly and angrily shut down the live stream and went offline. Little did she know, I was still recording the live stream. Sure enough, a short while later, Barbara's phone call came through. What are you trying to do? You little brat. You're not leaving us any way out. After all these years I raised you. No way out? That's fine. You're not without options. At least you have death. Haha. Nobody's stopping you. You. Barbara was so enraged on the other end of the phone that she couldn't speak, while my live stream was flooded with comments. Sister, you're so good at shutting people down. Can I borrow your sharp tongue? I love you. Sis. Love is love. The last time I received news about the two of them was in a news report. Barbara accidentally fell and had a miscarriage. On the way to the hospital, Daniel, driving her, got into a car accident due to speeding and violating a series of traffic rules. Fortunately, there were no casualties other than the two of them. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any thoughts about this story, feel free to share them in the comments section. Here is Roses and Love, sharing stories about marriage and women every day. See you tomorrow.